Right, hi everyone, Lee again. This is the second of what I'm calling kind of prequel videos, just to explain our setup, our initial starting place, if you like, ahead of the journeys that we're hoping to get on over the next few years. So I'm talking to you now at the 20th of December 2023. The first video was the 30th of November. That's when we moved out of our house, and we've had this transition period where we've needed to stay local, just a few miles down the road from the house. Actually, we found a place because my wife Jan is just finishing off her last few days of work. In fact, today's her last day working. She's been a psychiatric nurse for the past 10 years or so. So big day for her, and we've needed to have a temporary home, basically. So we were lucky enough to find a place where I'll show you outside in a second. It's not the most glamorous location, but it's kind of a river park where it's on a large river with there's a lock, etc. And it's where a whole load of narrowboats park up, and there's people living on the narrowboats with electric hookup and fresh water, LSAN toilet facilities, etc. And the guy who has it is kind of trying to build it up to ultimately be more of a mixed facility as well for motorhomes, etc. So we were just lucky enough to latch onto it because it's very convenient for what we need. But like I said, I'll pop outside and you'll see the location. Just give you a quick tour around. There's the river, a bit of a funny old boat there, but there's some various boats, etc. There's a whole heap of them further down on the river over there. There's Captain, come on mate. The positives are electric hookup just over there. There is fresh water, etc. The challenge here has been for those watching you down the track. If you remember December 23, it's been wet, and I mean really wet. This field in front of me was pretty much a lake for a week or so, and the water levels were pretty high. So we were pretty worried at one point that we might have to bail out, literally bail out or move off site. But that's not happened, thankfully. So yeah, I guess you can make your life in a variety of places. We've been it's a locked gate. It's nice and secure. But like I said, it's not going to be the most glamorous location we stay. In fact, we think that given everything that we've been through in the past few months, namely to exit our jobs, rent out our house, prepare it for rental, and then sort of work through a transition with various of life's challenges that gets chucked in the way, obviously. And we've also had a trip back up north. I had my leaving due and Christmas due, etc. We had a few days off site last week, which was really nice. But we're kind of thinking this is probably about as bad as it's going to get. We hope. Stay tuned for future videos in case things get worse. But December, wet, not the greatest of facilities really, but more than adequate. And to be honest, when we're inside the van, we're absolutely fine. We're totally used to being in the smaller environment. We've had the van for 3.5 years, and from that perspective, 24-hour electric hookup, good heating. It's a winterized van. It's not been that cold. It was pretty cold when we got here, actually, the first weekend. But this will be our 18th night staying over here. And we've not had any problems when we're inside the van. We just had to go and get fresh water. There's no taps immediately by us here. And there's a lock gate at the bottom end there, so we felt secure because we were facing another alternatives of finding sort of wild camps or the odd campsite and moving about for these 3 weeks. But as I say, luckily we've landed on this location, so it's paid off for us. And tomorrow we head off north to family, up to Lancashire, enjoy Christmas up there. Just one thing to probably call out, report, is how we've been, and we found this is a pretty common thing with people going full-time, is just kind of whittling down the content of the van. So I'd not weighed the van previously. It's a 3.5 ton unit, and it's been on my mind various times to get it weighed at some point. But obviously when we came out of the house, we were in a situation where probably, I don't know, 80% of our stuff we got rid of in various ways, to charity, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, that type of thing, just giving some stuff away. 10% of it we've kind of put into storage, if you like, in family homes, etc. And probably 10% went in the van. So inevitably, especially because we were thinking about, it's quite hard to get rid of good stuff, isn't it? You know, clothing or whatever. And we're preparing for full timing in this, so winter and summer stuff. And we had the tow bar fitted to get the 2 electric bikes on the back, so that's added a fair bit of weight. Anyway, I went to get it weighed when we were up in Lancashire, and lo and behold, we were slightly over. About 200 kgs over, which is enough. But since then we've been figuring out what we're going to do. We've already been through the van again, got rid of a bunch of stuff. Jan's been really quite brutal with her clothing. I still need to do that. We've got rid of a gas bottle. There's 2 gas bottles in the gas locker there. Well, there was 2 13 kg Caligas propane bottles. I'm getting an Alya gas refillable bottle fitted for our Europe travels, and the Caligas I'll just keep for when we're in the UK, but when we're travelling on the road, just have the 1 refillable, which I'm pretty confident we'll be fine with. And the fella I've spoken to tells me that the pigtail, etc., will fit onto Moroccan bottle, that type of thing. So I'm pretty confident that as long as we keep ourselves topped up, that we'll get through the rest of the winter in Europe. And then, you know, summertime we don't use a whole heap of gas anyway, and we can top up regularly with the refillable. So that's obviously taken out quite a bit of weight with the gas bottles. We've got things like an awning tent in there, which we thought we would need. We used it in the summer in France. It's kind of quite good to zip around the awning. Proper fuel thing. We'd use that quite a lot, but it's a nice to have, and frankly, it's taking up quite a bit of space and weight, so we're going to get rid of that. I've got a box of books in there. I've got too many tools, various things that we're going to offload, and I'm storing a car in a rented garage. So we're gonna bung a bunch of stuff in there, get it right down. We've got things like spare beach chairs and some extra little tables and stuff like that. So they're not, in individual weight terms, not that much, but it all adds up, doesn't it? And even just the larder full of tins of beans, and we had quite a lot of spices and stuff. We've kept some, but just the cumulative effects of all of that stuff. You know, towels, we're gonna swap them in for microfiber towels. I had 40 kgs of water in when it was weighed, and half a tank of fuel. So just thinking of that a little bit more carefully about making sure that we stay under the limit, especially when we're in Europe, because there's a lot more opportunities to get checked at over there. But obviously in the UK you've got to be at the right weight, otherwise you can be in problems with your insurance, etc., and just the general handling of the van, etc. So just interesting to keep an eye on that. You've obviously got different weight limits on each axle as well. That's something else to bear in mind. So what I'm going to have to probably do, I think, because the back axle was quite a bit over, so I'm going to you've usually got a label like this on the inside, of your van that's got your limits on. For this one, it's 2,000 kgs on the back axle, for example. So what we're thinking of doing is, when we're traveling, is taking the table out of the middle of here, and storing some of the heavier single items from the back in there, so that it's more evenly distributed. We'll see if that works, but I'm going to, before we head off in a month or so, after we've got rid of a load of stuff, is I think we're not far off. I think we should be okay now at 3.5 tons, to be honest. But we're going to unload still further, get to a weighbridge again. I just went to a local place which was like a scrap kind of place, and they let us use the weighbridge. Cost 20 quid, and they gave us a written report for the 2 separate axles and then the full weight of the overall van. So all good fun, but obviously an important facet to stay on top of. Understand your payload, etc. And just figure out how your life is going to work as much as you can in advance with the stuff that you need to take with you, because we're thinking of not coming back to the UK between the seasons. We may do that in future years, who knows. I guess we'll see how we get on this year, and sort of plan for everything and just see where we get to. But I think ultimately you don't need a lot of stuff. You don't need tons and tons of different pairs of pants and coats, etc. We've got quite a lot of different items like that, because it's our first time going full time, really. But I think that's probably enough. This is, as I say, the second video, part way through our transition to full timing. I'll do another one down the line when after Christmas. We're planning on getting up into the lakes or the Dales or maybe Scotland, just to find a bit of time to chill out, to be honest, and decompress, because we've had a hectic old period. So just being a bit free and starting to benefit from all the hard work we've put in will be good. So I'll sign off now. The sun's just going down behind me. I'm just going to get Captain out on his walk, and then I'll be welcoming Jan back after her final shift. So farewell from me, all the best, and see you soon.